Hey, C2, Sarah Friend here, president of the Partners Group headquartered in Portland, Oregon. Kristen Boyd asked me to share a brief case study with you that I think is a great example of the power of C2. This is one of our self funded clients, and they have about 300 employees. This case involves the largest claim that I have ever experienced in my nearly 30-year career. And it was enough to potentially destroy the self-funded health plan. This story is starts with a very sad case of a dependent child who is currently fighting a pretty complicated and aggressive form of cancer. It wasn't then until late summer of 2024 when HealthComp, the third party administrator of the reference based pricing plan, started actually getting the claims coming through from the hospital. And what was being billed was just under $1 million per outpatient chemotherapy round. This total round of care was up to 17 rounds of chemotherapy. So easy math is $1 million a round, 17 rounds, a potential of a $17 million claim. So we went initially, of course, to 6 Degrees to see if there was anything that could be done about the single case agreement. 6 Degrees had done everything they could with the local hospital to try and renegotiate that single case agreement. Sun Life, who was the stop loss carrier, had been involved, but neither one was able to make progress on this case. These costs were unsustainable for this self funded health plan. And so they were strongly considering just having to discontinue their self funded health plan. And this plan has 300 families who rely on the plan for their care. This is an employer that cares very much about their employees and their employees' families. But at the same time, there is a point where an employer just can't afford it anymore. And we were at that point. And so there was a lot at stake writing on this negotiation. It took a lot to get the local hospital to renegotiate and on a retro basis. So when we got over that hump, I was feeling on top of the world, like we had just like won the World Series. And when you look at the underwriting of this case, Sun Life had paid out significantly more in claims um, than premium, and this go forward savings and even the retro savings, wasn't going to cover their losses. So I understood why what I was asking for was a difficult ask. They made an offer that would have potentially been a benefit in 2026, but this was a scenario where it was very urgent. The pain of the client was now, and we needed savings now in order to save this group health plan. This is where C2 comes in. Um, Sun Life, they're a preferred partner of ours. I called Kristen Boyd, and Kristen um, first listened to my frustration, and she suggested I call Rich Tweetmeyer from M3. Rich listened to my frustration too, and both talked me off the ledge and got me connected with a senior executive at Sun Life. That senior executive at Sun Life listened and went to bat for us, and I think was able to tell the story internally in a way that I think just shifted perspective a little bit, and that gave the authority to our local rep to make a significant change on the 2025 renewal. Without C2 and without the relationships that we have in C2, um, the story would have ended with our no from our local team. It was about both the heart of this individual, his personal circumstances, but it was also about the collective relationship that all of our C2 member firms have with this carrier. When you're, frustrated and feeling like you're at the end of solutions, there's probably a few more you haven't thought of. And so reach out to each other and reach out to Kristen. And I just want to thank Rich too, personally, and Kristen both, for being a part of this solution for this client. It means a lot.